Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to Charity Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 8th of March 2019, so if there are any female traders listening to this recording, this live video of course, then happy Women's Day to all of you. So yep, so this is a very nice day today, and so let's see what the markets are going to bring to us on this great day. But before we do that, before we start looking at the charts, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, let's quickly jump into the charts. Now the first one I want to touch on here is the CAC40. Now I was covering this one in a few of my videos basically, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this little rising channel formation, and yesterday we've posted here on our TradingView account this idea here, this potential short idea, so you can check us out here as well, but basically what we said here is this. Basically we need to see a nice drop below the 5,265 level in order to get comfortable with the downside. And to be honest, with yesterday's sell-off in the market, and if you look at the cash index of CAC40 right now, it is selling off nicely. So it basically we will probably see a nice good gap here, opening gap to the downside. Certainly our target is around here, around the 5,205 level, which is also not far from the lower bound of the rising channel formation. So that's why, guys, for now this is working out nicely. Let's see, of course, how this day is going to develop, but we do have an exciting day today, of course, as you probably are aware of the economic news. So the US NFPs are coming out, and also we do have some Canadian employment data coming out as well. So is going to be quite interesting, could be quite an interesting day. So yep, let's see how this is going to play out. But for now, of course, we're still remain somewhat bearish on this one, on the index, on the CAC40. But the first target, the very important target that we're going to be keeping a close eye on is going to be the 5,205 level. So keep your eyes on that one. On the upside, well, in order for us to get comfortable with higher levels, we'd probably need to see a nice good push initially above these highs, above this week's highs around 5,315 level, and only then we'll target slightly higher areas. But for now it seems to be more bearish than bullish. Euro dollar, now this has been a bit of a madness here yesterday, and of course you can see why. So basically yesterday we saw the dovish ECB coming out, so this led the euro dollar to slide further, managed to break some key areas of support. Initially started off the day around just slightly just above the 112.90 level, but quickly that got broken, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on the 112.90. A break below that could send this this pair lower, and what's more interesting that the pair managed to break its key area of support at 112.15 around here. And just to kind of show you what that was the lowest point of November last year. So that's why, guys, it's very important today to keep a close eye on it, on this 112.15. If this is gonna stay below this, and if the weekly candle is gonna close below the 112.15 level, now of course we could expect further declines in the next week, and of course this will be very interesting to see where exactly this pair is going to travel to. Yesterday the pair found good support near the 1.1175 zone. This is going to be that level that we're going to be keeping a close eye on, because a drop below this could of course confirm another forthcoming lower low, and we could then retest the 11120 zone. And just to kind of show you what that level was here, we probably need to scroll back quite a bit into the past, guys. So let me adjust this. There we go. So this was the level that I'm talking about. So the 11120 zone marks the lows of June 2017. So the lowest point of June of 2017 sits around the 1.1120 zone. So keep your eyes on that one, but only if we see a drop below the 11175 zone. So for now you can see that the pair is retracing slightly back to the upside, but if it remains below the 112.15 zone, well, or even actually below the pivot, well, we still could see this one as a correction. This move to the upside could be just seen as a correction, because for us to get comfortable with higher levels, we would like to see initially a nice good push above the 112.50, and then of course getting these levels cleared as well. So this could be great for the bulls. This could mean that the pair is not willing to travel further down, and yep, we could see next week probably acceleration here to the upside again. But again, this is for now. this is looking more bearish than bullish. Jumping into another euro pair, and that's against the yen. So the yen got strengthened. Of course, the equity markets are supporting that as well. So basically, everybody's trying to jump, as always. Everybody's jumping into the yen when there's negativity in the equity markets. So now you can see this is what's happening. And yesterday I was talking about this one a lot, and basically I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on a few key support areas. Now, initially, of course, we were trading above this upside support line. That's fine. It got broken, then it traveled further below the 125.95 level. This is the one that I was talking about to keep an eye on. So we managed to break that nicely, and it continued to slide. So basically, you see, this is where it's currently sitting at. It's sitting at around 124.40, just maybe slightly above that, but slightly below that. We do have a very good area of potential support here near the 124.17, something like that, approximately there, basically, which is not far from the lows of 15th of February and the low of the 8th of February. So keep your eyes on that one, because we might see maybe a bit of a correction here to the upside, maybe a small push back up. This could, like I said, the pair could travel lower and then maybe rebound from this area. Just because on the 4-hour chart it would be well, it is slightly oversold already, so we could see maybe a bit of a correction here to the upside. Now, what you could do is watch for this little area here. Let me just quickly mark that. There we go, and that's around the 124.90 level. So basically, if this decides to travel back up here but fails to drive above the 124.90, we could see the bears stepping in here again and potentially driving this one lower. So for now, on the downside, keep your eyes on the 124.17 level. If it provides good support, we could see a rebound, but then watch out for the 124.90 level, and let's see how that plays out, because if that gets broken, then yeah, we could see further acceleration to the upside, at least until we see a hit of this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 3rd of March. If the pair decides to break the 124.17 level straight away, well, you could in a way target some other lower levels, initially maybe aiming for this little low here, this little obstacle at around 123.75, but if that fails, then yep, we do have a better one here at 123.40, which marks the lows of the 15th of January and the 7th of January. So keep your eyes on that one. Very interesting pair, very interesting developments right now, and let's see how this is going to play out further. EURCAD. Now, EURCAD sold off yesterday. Of course, the Canadian dollar is not on the stronger side, but you can see that the euro got hit. So basically, the euro was even weaker than the Canadian dollar. So that's what took this pair down. Of course, the break below the 151.20 zone didn't quite help here the bulls, because we can see that now it slid lower. It found its good support near this little area here. Let me just quickly mark that, and that's around 150.38 area approximately there, so from which it retraced back up. So basically it rebounded. Looking at this 4-hour chart, of course, it rebounded from its 100 EMA, and now it's kind of trying to push higher. Let's keep a close eye on the pivot today. The pivot is around the 151.04. If this struggles to get back above this, then well, I mean, this is not going to be looking good for the EURCAD probably. So we might expect maybe the bulls to step in again and drive this one lower, because you can see that still overall we are trading above this this upside, above this downside resistance line that got broken here on the 1st of March, still above that. So in a way, maybe this is could be seen as a correction before another strong push higher. But again, let's not over speculate here too much. Let's see what it wants to do with the 151.04 today, if it actually wants to reach that or not. For us, let's say, to get more comfortable with higher levels on this one, we would like to see a nice good push back above the 151.20 zone, and only then we will target these recent highs, this week's highs at around 152.25 zone. Let me just quickly put that on the chart as well, just for our future reference. So, and then of course, if that fails to withhold, then you have further acceleration to the upside is possible as well. So for now, guys, in terms of the downside, well, the 150.38, this is where the it could confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could see this one sliding lower to test this downside resistance line from above, and then of course it will be very interesting to watch if this is going to decide to break that below it or not. And then if it does break this below excuse me, then we could see this one traveling further down, maybe even actually reaching the these lows here that we saw back here on the 1st of March, and that was approximately around the 149.20 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Very interesting developments here, like I said, in the EURCAD as well. Let's see who's gonna outpull who. USDJPY. Now this one is again getting hit. Of course, the yen buying, that's what's driving it, and of course now we're gonna look at this upside, short-term upside support line taken from the lows of 3rd of March. It's kind of currently aiming towards it. Now again, this is a bit of a difficult one with this line. This could be a bit of a tentative one, because you could draw it this way, you could draw it a little bit lower here, marking this low. So that's why don't rely on this line too much, because if you switch to a daily chart here, now it's also not really clean. So that's why, guys, for now, again, we are keeping this just as a little gauge here, but we're not really relying that much on this upside support line. So in a way, what you could do, keep your eyes on some of these key levels, key support and resistance levels. So basically, if this decides to travel below the 110.90 level, this is where it could become interesting, because we could see the further slide lower. Of course, then it will hit this upside support line, but in order to get even more comfortable with much lower levels in the near term, probably would need to see a nice good push below the 110.63 area, which marks the lows here of the 28th of February. So the last trading day of February, basically a drop below that this 110.63 could open the path towards much lower areas again. But for now you can see that yes, it is trying to push lower. Let's see how this plays out near the 110.90. It's currently, the pair is currently balancing around 111. In order to consider the upside, well, we would like to see a nice good push back above the 111.20. This way, of course, the downside could be slightly off the table, but still there would be some risks for the bulls, because we do have some good areas of resistance here. So in a way, if this decides to push back up above the 111.65 area, approximately there, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for the bulls, and we could see more of them joining in and potentially driving this one back towards the 112 area. But for now, guys, it's a bit of a tricky one. So that's why, guys, you could, like I said, keep your eyes on the 111.20 zone on the upside, but then probably also keep your eyes on this 111.40 48 zone, which coincides with the with the 50 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, shown as the red line. A nice good push above that could, yep, increase the chances of this pair traveling further up. So let's see how this plays out, but for now this is looking more bearish than bullish. And the last pair I wanted to quickly touch on, and not going to spend too much time on it, USDCAD continues to climb. Of course, this is what I was talking about. The Canadian dollar is the weak one. It's not the, when I was talking about the EURCAD, it's not the Canadian dollar was strong, and that's why it pushed the EURCAD lower. It's the weaker euro. So basically, you can see that this is what's happening right now here in the USDCAD. It's kind of currently testing its 134.65 zone. Let's see if it manages to break that or not, because currently, yes, it is trying to push higher. If it could travel a little bit higher here, hit R1, which is around the 134.75, and this is where we'll keep a close eye on it, because if this continues to travel further, a nice good potential area of resistance could be seen near the 134.96 level, or in a way you could round it up towards the 135, which coincides here with the R2, with today's R2, and very good potential area of resistance here, very psychological one. But first we need to see a nice good confirmed break above the 134.65 and above the 131.75, which is the R1 of today. On the downside for us, let's say we'll take a more cautious approach here and wait until this drives below the 134.25, and only then we will target lower areas, and then we will aim for maybe for the 133.70 or even lower. For now, that's the case. For now, it seems to be willing to climb higher, but then again, don't forget that we are already quite overextended here on the 4-hour chart, so at some point we could see a bit of correction here. But let's see if the correction comes after the pair hits the psychological 135 level, or actually is it gonna retrace earlier and then keep this 135 for later. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. I'll have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me later on at my traders tea time, and that's 14:15 GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a wonderful trading day, and be very cautious today and very careful, as we have the US NFPs later on today. So check the economic calendars and be safe. I'll see you later. Bye bye.